Yeah, yeah. No, sure. So there is a whole lot of tendency to get caught up, and then we step back, and then caught up, and then we listen to the instructions of the meditation and we step back, and that's how the whole process is. That's the process for most of us, and that's the practice, because practice ultimately is nothing but this ability to watch and keeping on watching, even if you get entangled, very peacefully coming back. And that's where we start the whole question of compassion as well, because we can see that when we don't do our practice well, we become upset with ourselves or upset with the practice. That's the nature, that's the way we work with ourselves. So today, being World Kindness Day, I thought it was a very good idea to work with the compassion aspect of the practice. I mean, those of you who've been, and some of you have done several courses together, and of course you've heard compassion over and over and over, but still, it still is as relevant and as needed. Practice is needed for that concept, and you know it, even though we know about it. It's not that we are able to really understand or really let it go. So it's a practice. We keep doing it and we become better at it, and slowly we become more compassionate towards ourselves. So even in our practice, we are not compassionate. We get upset, we get agitated. And so part of our practice, very importantly, is to just be, to be gentle, to be relaxed, to be kind. The practice is a practice of relaxation and kindness. It's not a practice of fixing and doing and getting the mind to, twisting the mind in a way that now it fits our expectations. Instead, the idea is, this is the mind. This is my mind. Can I watch it without believing everything it says? Can I be loving and gentle to it? It's like how you deal with a child. You don't believe everything children say, but you're always smiling at them. You're always listening. You're always engaging, but you're not always believing. And so, can that happen with our mind as well? It says things. It's conditioned to say all kinds of things. It's conditioned to make all kinds of stories, all kinds of harsh judgments against ourselves. Can we watch without believing those judgments? And so one of the most important aspects of the practice is compassion. And today I want to focus on self-compassion, because if we cannot have that compassion for ourselves, and we feel we are compassionate to ourselves, but in very quick ways we will see that it's not the case. And it's natural that if we hold ourselves, in the sense we blame ourselves for things, and we also blame others. It's not possible to just blame others and not have blame against ourselves. Often it's like that we blame ourselves, we are not happy, we are dissatisfied with ourselves. The judgments are quiet, they are very soft, they come up in very strange ways, like, you might look at some part of your belly fat, say, I don't like it, and that's a judgment against yourself without you even realizing that that's a judgment. Or you might become unhappy seeing somebody else do well, and then if you just look a little underneath, you'll see that's because you feel dissatisfied with what you have achieved, where you are in life. You're doubting whether you're doing enough, whether you are enough. So whether it's about what you have achieved, how you look, what you have, how your relationships are, there are myriad reasons why any of us can have judgments about ourselves. So, and what happens with these judgments is the inner environment that is created is a very harsh one. Imagine you have to live with yourself. Even if you go to the Himalayas, you go with yourself. You can't leave yourself behind ever. And your relationship with yourself is one of criticism and lack of affection and lack of gentleness and lack of understanding. And this relationship is carried everywhere in the world that you go. You can just not have a respite from this, because this relationship this is one place that the divorce is not possible. Right? You only have to build this relationship. There is no other option. right? And this relationship, if it's difficult, then there is so much of uneasiness and heaviness in our inner environment. It doesn't matter where we go, we'll be just carrying it with us. And then whoever we interact with, we will be passing it on, giving it off, because that's what we have. I mean, that's what is inside, that's what's going to come out. So can we actually do something about this harsh relationship with ourselves? Can we take some, all of us may not be very harsh. Some of us may be harsher than others are, but all of us have some of these judgments going on. So can we take some time today in this session to contemplate? And what I always like to do is introduce the concept which intellectually we understand, but then to do a small practice, some introspection, some contemplation to see how this applies to us.